SEMO head coach Tom Matukewicz. Red Hawks fell behind 7-0 to North Alabama and then scored 30 unanswered points on their way to a 30-21 victory. This week, number one ranked and defending national champion North Dakota State. The Red Hawks will travel to Fargo Saturday afternoon. So, Coach, just some thoughts about your team, and then we'll go to some questions.
Yeah, it was great to get a win at home. I think playing well in front of your home crowd is really important. I always worry about making sure each and every class understands what's been done before them, the big wins that have been at Houck, the standard of play that's been at Houck. And so it was great to get a win. Just love the energy on campus. We had great crowds. A lot of positives. Of course, winning had some good adversity, which you want. You fall behind, those type of things. Got to work some critical situations. We had a nice 2-minute drive right before half, which is nice when you break it in a new quarterback. Unfortunately, failed at a 4-minute drive in the end and ended up fumbling, which is obviously hard to even watch. But at the end of the day, it was all good. Lots of room for improvement. The one concern that I have is I'm not sure that we got a lot better from week 1 to week 2. And so we're just trying to figure out why. Is that because as coaches, we're not doing a good enough job coaching, or is your team not being coachable right now? And so we understand that we don't need to change. We can be who we are up in Fargo, but we need to be the best version of ourselves. That's going to give us the best chance. And we need to really, create those improvements that we're searching for last week, this week.
Thanks, Coach. We'll go to some questions. We got Jeff Kolpak, who's from the Fargo Forum. He's got a couple for you. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Coach. Greetings from Fargo. I'm sure you get asked this a lot, but what's it like to have a 6'8" quarterback?
Well, it's kind of like looking at a carnival freak. You know what I mean? At first, it's like, oh my gosh, this guy's huge. But of course, it's so interesting because I think the reason not a lot of people recruited him was his size, but it was the reason I liked him. And so it's just unique that, beauty's in the eyes of the beholder, I guess. We loved everything about him right off the jump. He's young, those type of things. He's kind of sneaky, athletic. He was a state qualifier in volleyball, basketball, and football. And so he's a little more athletic than you think. It just looks a little different because he's so tall.
There's got to be some huge advantage of just seeing the field,
Yeah.
is there not?
Oh, for sure. His vision and accuracy is, great. I think what happens is people feel like he can't move, so maybe you get more pressure. They're going to see if they could get him off the spot and see what that looks like.
How did you get a hold of him? I mean, I know you're looking for a quarterback after last year.
Yeah. So we had a quarterback trainer in San Diego reach out to us who was actually on our staff at one time, way back when, not when I was here. But he called, reached out about Jax, and just couldn't say enough good things about him. And then, the process of evaluating, California is not where I want my players. The only thing I want from California is my red wine. We're in a Midwest values. I want a tough-minded program, and obviously I want my quarterback to live out our core values. But once I got to meet his family, once I got to meet Jax, he was a great fit. Hopefully, I think what we're seeing is seeing a quarterback grow up. He's still young, still learning how to play. This will be a true challenge for him. You guys have a great fan base. There'll be noise. There'll be crazy adversity, and his ability to respond, stay positive, and lead on the sideline. He's going to get a lot of work of that this weekend.
And my last question, big picture, is this a game important in top 25 FCS, being in the conversation later on this year?
Absolutely. We know that people are going to talk about North Dakota State at the end of the season. I don't know if they're going to talk about SEMO. At the end of the day, we need to know, where are we at? What are we good at? What are we not good at? Playing teams like this will let us know exactly where we're at. If we're a playoff team, then this is a fourth quarter game, and that's the goal. But I think you can learn a lot by playing great teams. I mean, you can't just back to back to back to back and you're going to get banged up and stuff. But this is a good game for us as a program. I want to know where we're at. I want to know what is it, are we there, or are there things that I have to do a better job inside the program and build the roster, the coaching, all the things. And so I'm really looking forward to getting some great feedback.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Thanks,
You
Kyle.
bet.
Coach, talk about Peyton, your running back, Peyton Brown, 81 yards. And then, he has the family connection with his brother on the other sideline.
Yeah, Peyton is going to join his brother. His brother's a true freshman up at North Dakota State. They're just a great family. I know they're going to be taking pictures before the game and all that, but they are just quality human beings, quality players. Peyton is, I think, what we need to make sure we all understand is still learning how to play. He's a true freshman last year that played, but he didn't play the whole year. Got banged up, missed 5 or 6 games. And so he's still learning all the chapters 8, 9, and 10 of this running back book. And so from ID and protections to making sure we don't fumble a 4-minute, all these type of things. But, can't wait. At some point we really feel like he's going to have a breakout game, and we just need to continue to strain and fight for those holes so that we can get him started. If we can get him second level, third level, he's hard to tackle.
And then just sort of like last year when you had the injuries, Cole and Brandon or other people you've put in there who have had success too. So you can never have too much depth there, right?
Yeah, Cole Rubel had a really nice game. I think he had over 100 all-purpose. He is a guy that doesn't have to slow down to cut. Over 200 pounds, a real weapon. I think Brandon Epton had an average game this last week. We really got to dial in. He missed a couple of protections and stuff. So really going to need those 3 backs this week. We really pride ourselves on trying to be balanced, and it's going to be really tough sledding to run the ball against this football team this weekend. And we're going to need them if we're going to be able to do it.
And then since we're earlier talking about Jack's, like receiver wise, a lot of people caught passes. Cam Pedro went over some numbers for his career, but how has Jack's been like, finding these connections and timing with his receiving?
No, it's a work in progress. I think we're all going to see Jax kind of grow up. It's just we're either new or we're young, and so I do think we have some talent in here, but man, it's just tough. It's like the first time you're doing everything. But there's some talent in there. Pedro's done a great job from a leadership standpoint. There's good connections in there, but it takes time to get on the same page. I mean, it's not a microwave thing. I mean, you got a crock pot, cook it. I mean, it just takes a long time to get on the same page.
And just we'll end with about defense. Landon Sylvia is somebody who has had a bit seemed to be all over the place the first 2 games of the season. What about him?
Oh, very productive. He played as a true freshman last year, undersized. He's working on his body, getting it up. He's always been a really instinctive player from New Orleans. Just a great teammate. And he's kind of that leader back there. We're really trying to win the turnover margin this weekend. We haven't had enough success as far as turnovers. We need to create more takeaways this weekend and look for him in that back end to lead that effort.
Awesome. Coach, appreciate your time as always. Best of luck this weekend. We'll talk to you again next week.
Sounds great.